Today on Getting Real with the Housewives, Shannon Beador and Gina Kirschenheiter dish on the new OC ladies.
Well, I bonded with Noella very quickly, and she has a lot going on in her life right now, and I wanted to be there for her because I have empathy for things that she's still going through.
Then we break down that explosive Real Housewives of New Jersey trailer.
She sounds like a hater. I don't give a what you say, because I'm trying to explain to you. Where to get the
Plus, who is in and who is out on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We've got that plus so much more on this week's Getting Real with the Housewives. Hey guys, Christina Garibaldi here with Us Weekly executive producer Mandy DeCamp. Mandy, welcome to another week of Housewives news, shows, and drama.
I'm happy to be here, Christina.
A lot to get to, but before we dive into this week's episode and the news, let's check in and see what some of the viewers had to say about last week's show.
One of the viewers wrote in and said, "What? Kathy does not need a raise to show up occasionally and make hunky-dory jokes." I agree.
I agree.
Can't disagree with that.
Doesn't need the money. Another one said, back to normal. All these housewife shows have never been normal. This was, of course, talking about when we were talking about COVID and the housewives. And I have to agree, none of these shows have ever been normal.
Right. Are bad for using that choice of words.
Totally. All right. Well, let's get into the housewives news this week. What have the ladies been up to?
All right. Well, we got to kick it off with that explosive New Jersey Housewives trailer that came out for next season. It seems like Teresa Giudice and Margaret Joseph's really, their friendship is put to a test. They really go at it in the trailer. It seems to be the focus of most of it, actually. There's glass throwing, name calling, relationships coming into question. So take a look.
I love you. This guy is charming as
There's a car salesman.
I don't know why she wants to hide everything.
Why are you still filming?
Why just the constant conflicting stories?
I don't like how you're nasty, talking behind my back about my boyfriend.
You do not want Margaret to be your enemy.
No. You're a sick, disgusting liar.
So ready for this.
Yeah, me too. It seems like a lot of people are questioning Teresa's relationship with Louis.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I understand why. I mean, it kind of, he came into the picture, then he's on the show. And obviously, if you're in the spotlight and you're kind of dating somebody that's kind of like, you don't know him, you don't know their background, you maybe think, are they there for the right reasons? And yeah, I think that's what Margaret's doing. She's trying to look out for her friend. Obviously, we don't know exactly what happens, but yeah, it seems like they are questioning it, but we've talked to Melissa, we've talked to Joe Gorga since their engagement, and they seem really happy for them. So, we'll have to wait and see.
It looks like a good season. I think I'm excited for it. I'm definitely going to be watching. Jersey for me is always like, there's full seasons where I just go through it and don't like it. But I feel like this has new stuff. Like, I feel like it has new drama. So, and Teresa almost flips the table at the end.
Almost flips the table. So ready for that. And then, it seems like a big storyline this season is going to be Jennifer Aydin and her marriage. There's been rumors going around even before we saw the trailer that things were kind of on the rocks between the two of them. But as we see, their relationship is definitely in question.
Yeah, they have like 5 children?
5 children. Yeah. They have a lot of kids and they always seemed pretty solid. I mean, but you never know what's going on behind closed doors. But yeah, that kind of comes into question. I think we're going to see a lot of Gia Giudice this season too.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Like a junior housewives.
Right. Yes. Yeah. We see her fighting with Joe Gorga. They're kind of going at it because Joe has a lot to say about Joe Giudice. So it seems like we're going to see a lot of Gia this season too. Dolores and Jackie go at it. So it definitely seems like it's going to be a good season.
It does. I can't wait.
I can't wait. All right. Well, speaking of Dolores and speaking of Jersey, let's keep it in the Jersey family because Dolores Quintanilla's relationship status has been revealed. So a source tells Us Weekly that she is no longer dating David. They broke up this past summer and that there was no bad blood between them. This source tells us that they just grew apart and the romance didn't progress into what she was looking for, which we saw last season. He really wasn't ready to commit to her at all. Yeah. Since calling it quits, she is happy in a new relationship with a man named Paul Connell. And she showed him off on Instagram. And a source tells us that Dolores is with him constantly. She likes him a lot and they have a lot in common. She's attracted to him on a deeper level, especially his charitable side and giving back, which is something she does all the time. Excited for her.
Me too. I love Dolores. She's always really sweet when she's been in studio with us. And I just want her to be happy. But, part of me always wants her to go back to her original husband, her OG.
Yes.
Yeah, different.
Oh, I would always love to see her and Frank. And every time I've interviewed her, I've always asked, and she's like, not going to happen. But
no, but I don't get it. They get along so well. They have a child together. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. But she's dating. So seems to be really happy in her new relationship. But yeah, I think based off watching last season and a lot of other seasons of Jersey with her and David were just not meant to be. He just wasn't really, and he didn't fit in with the guy group either. And that's a big red flag.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, news coming out of OC, newcomer Noella Bergener has revealed that her estranged husband, James Bergener, has allegedly abandoned their autistic son amid their divorce. This is horrible and sad. In a lengthy Instagram post, she wrote that the split occurred 5 months ago and that he left the home with his toothbrush only, leaving behind his life, family, and home. She added, "To this date, James has not visited our son or given me any explanation for his departure. He has fled the state to evade service. My cards are still shut off. He hasn't paid a dime in support. He stopped paying for our home and is currently holding up our divorce unless I sign a statement saying that I lied about him, his business partner, and his brand." The lawyer allegedly owes the IRS in the state of California around $5.8 million. She goes on to say that she has spoken nothing but the truth on the show and that she has asked him to give an explanation through a third party to provide insight, which he has repeatedly declined. In a statement to Us Weekly, James said, "I look forward to addressing all these false allegations in a courtroom. A judge in Puerto Rico, where I am a resident, has already granted our divorce. Ultimately, Noella is the mother of my child, and I will not publicly disparage her." The pair married in June 2020, and they shared 2-year-old son, James.
Ugh.
Oh, that's messy.
So messy.
I mean, we see a little bit, and we'll get into this week's episode in a little bit. We see it playing out in real time. I mean, I got to know more about this guy, because she's new to the Housewives, so we've never been introduced to him. We are only hearing her side, and it's not good on his part.
Right. I mean, like, no matter what happens between you and them and, your wife, like, to not see your son in 5+ months and to just kind of drop off the face of the earth, like something had to happen. And I would love to hear his side of the story. It is strange that, like, he filed for the divorce, or he says that the divorce is finalized. She says that it's not. So, somebody's telling the truth and somebody's lying. So hopefully we'll find out all the answers.
Too, because we only hear Noella on the show. We do hear from her mom in this episode from last night, and her mom seemed to be his biggest fan. Right. So that surprised me. I thought maybe, getting someone else's opinion would show more of his true colors, but she loved him. Yeah, no, it was interesting though, but the mom did not like him for like the first year that they dated. Like, so she saw something that was off. Maybe he convinced her otherwise, but yes, very, very messy situation. But like you said, we'll kind of dive into that a little bit later on, but we have to get to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because the next season's cast has been revealed. We have some old faces and some new faces coming on. Lisa, Garcelle, Kyle, Sutton, Erika, Dorit, Crystal, and Kathy will all be returning next season. And joining them are newcomers, Sanila Diana Jenkins and Cherie Zampino. Now, Zampino will appear as a friend of the Bravo series, while Jenkins has been cast as a full-time housewife. Now, Cherie was previously married to Will Smith from 1992 to 1995, and the pair share a 29-year-old son named Trey, while Sanila is a mother of 3 and the founder and CEO of the lifestyle drink company Noro Brands. She's also a philanthropist and an activist who runs the UCLA Sanila Diana Jenkins Human Rights Project. She also runs the Jenkins Penn Haitian Relief Organization, which she founded with Sean Penn. So she's got a very lengthy, impressive resume. Yeah. I am so excited for Will Smith's ex. Oh my God. After all the stuff that's been in the news about him in the past 2 years and his memoir and everything, I mean, I cannot wait to hear from one of his ex-wives. I know. I'm surprised she's not holding a diamond. But maybe maybe she didn't want to. Maybe. But hopefully she spills the tea. And it's nice that we have some new women to join the mix. It's a lot of women now. It's so many. Yeah, it's a lot. I guess Dorit's not a friend. I guess she's a full housewife. So I wonder, like, sometimes when there's so many women, like, it's hard to kind of like get really invested in everybody's stories. But maybe, maybe not all the focus is going to be on Erika this season. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Very true.
Because remember that? Like,
Oh yeah.
like it's like we forgot. Like it's like we're not talking about that one anymore.
No. I'm more interested in Will Smith than Tom Girardi.
Totally.
Okay, let's break down this week's Salt Lake City Housewives. We'll start with Jen and Lisa's lunch. Lisa making it all about herself, of course. What did you think about this?
I mean, Lisa, like, yes, like Jen is potentially a criminal and doesn't deserve a lot of sympathy unless, if she's guilty. But Lisa just kind of turning this around on herself when her friend is probably going through the darkest time in her life. I get it. I get that she hurt your feelings, but maybe put that aside for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I said it last week. I'm happy that people are finally showing Lisa's true colors a little bit more and that people are questioning her since she says one thing behind people's backs and another to their face. So I was happy that was happening. Yeah. Mary saying that Jen messed with the wrong person and that maybe that's like, see what happens when you talk about her church, you go to jail. That was crazy. Do you think she had anything to do with turning her in or?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say because you have like the FBI, you have Homeland Security, you have all these people involved. I don't think Mary Cosby is the one that uncovered all of this. Maybe she thought something fishy was going on. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that she was the one that kind of turned all this information over to the feds, but who knows?
Yeah.
Stranger things.
Who knows? I don't want to mess with Mary though.
No, I don't want to mess with Mary, but Mary with the comments though, she doesn't
know.
Mary, saying to Jenny or saying that she likes slanted eyes. Oh my God.
I mean, all I have to say is I feel like if any other housewife had said that, they would have been immediately fired and canceled. Yeah. That was not okay. And it was glazed over. Curious, at the reunion, what Andy Cohen will say to her about that and if she'll be asked back.
No, totally.
If anyone else did that, that would be totally not okay.
Not okay. And, in the trailer coming up for the next week's episode, she brings it up again and she doesn't seem to think that something is wrong with that. Like you said, that's, people get canceled over sometimes ridiculous things, and this isn't a ridiculous thing.
It reminds me of Leanne Locken on Dallas saying that when she referred to chirpy Mexicans, it just, she didn't think anything wrong with it, but it's not okay, and they didn't ask her back. So
it's Mary just doesn't seem to gel really well with the rest of the group either, and it seems like more stuff about her and her church is going to be brought to light this season, whether true or not. But it is. It is weird. And then she's trying to be best friends with Jen when she was the one that was talking all this stuff about her while they were in jail. I don't understand these women that just decide to play both sides because this is all on camera. It's all gonna we're all gonna see it. Everybody's gonna know the truth eventually. So it's just weird that she's kind of oblivious to this.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. She's there's no logic to her. There's no all of a sudden she hates Whitney. We don't know why. All of a sudden she loves Jen. We don't know why. There's no rhyme or reason with Mary.
It's just when she wakes up one day, she's like, I feel like liking this person today. Yeah. It's very strange. All right. Well, let's move on to Real Housewives of OC because we said before, Noella kind of breaking down about her divorce, we're only 4 episodes into this and we just got introduced to her and she's going through this gigantic life change. And it's a lot to probably not only deal with behind closed doors, but to deal with on camera is not easy.
No. And I felt so bad for her with that awkward lunch with Nicole and she wouldn't give her a hug.
Right.
That was so bizarre. I was just give her a hug. She's like, oh, I didn't know you wanted me to get up. What?
Right.
Just get up and give her a hug.
Help a girl out.
Bizarre.
So bizarre.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're going to get answers to what happened because we said, somebody just picking up and leaving and just flying to Puerto Rico with no rhyme or reason. Something maybe happened. I don't know, but maybe we'll find out. But I don't know. And then like you said, Nicole kind of starting trouble. Noella clearly, had a little too much to drink at that lunch and, calling Heather a fake bitch and Nicole kind of running right back to Heather. What'd you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Noella had too much to drink. I don't think it was that serious. I think Heather realizes that too. I think Heather's more concerned with the Shannon situation right now still. So I can't really see that escalating to be too much. But what did you think about Heather's conversation with Shannon and her promise?
Oh my God, like such a threat. I mean, we've talked about this before. I just feel like they're just making so much out of this situation where, like we said, I think last week, like, I feel like Heather should have been more mad at Nicole than Shannon for talking about this. It just doesn't really make sense to me. Like Shannon,
I think Heather,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I think Heather just wants an excuse to not talk to Shannon for the rest of the season because of past things, you know?
Yeah. I think so too. But yeah, it's like Shannon really like to threaten somebody by like, you know, saying like, I'm going to probably sue you next time you talk about my family seems a little bit much.
Yeah. That's crazy. Can she even do that?
I don't know. So nuts. All right. Well, time for our real talk. And we recently sat down with Shannon Medora and Gina Kirschenheiter to get their thoughts on the new ladies of the OC. What do you think of the new cast members, Noella and Jennifer? What were you kind of your first impressions, and did they kind of fit right in with the group?
Well, I bonded with Noella very quickly, and she has a lot going on in her life right now. And I wanted to be there for her because I have empathy for things that she's still going through. And Dr. Jen, I got to know her more probably in the second half of the season. We weren't together all that often. So, but when I got to know her, I enjoy her a lot. But when I first met her, I say this word all the time, ballsy.
Yeah.
Ballsy.
Yes. Do you feel like sometimes like new housewives feel like they have to bring it?
You know what? I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, what is this? Our 16th for this show. So my 16th season. But, you know, people watch these shows and they have for years. So I think sometimes some girls think they need to make a name for themselves.
Yeah. Did that happen this season with the newbies?
Maybe. With one.
Yeah. Did they fit well into the group, or was it a hard transition for them too?
We were very open, which I think was good. Like, I think is the secret to success is because we're like, yay, new friends, you know, well, at least Emily and I, you know, and Shannon was very open to Noella, you know? Yeah. So I think that they had the best shot they had. I think like we battle sometimes new people coming on and having a perspective of what this is and then approaching it from that point of view. And as time goes on, they get more comfortable because they recognize like we're really not. It really was a good reboot because the people who were left, at least Emily and I, were just like new friends. Like let's get to know each other. Like there's no motive, there's no like agenda, there's no manipulation, there's no made up crap. Like it's just. And if it's entertaining, it's entertaining. And usually like that real stuff is just more entertaining anyway, you know? Totally. So I think once they started to get more comfortable, it was better. And Noella goes through, honestly, right from out the gate, and I sympathize with her, a lot of very personal stuff. So, you know, it's like I don't think she had the opportunity to just exist in the world as herself, because right from the start it's like, oh, here's brand new friends and I'm going through this life crisis. And that was really difficult, I think, for her to balance and navigate through. And you see a lot of that play out as the show goes on.
Definitely. So it seems like Shannon said that she and Noella kind of hit it off right off the bat, and Gina kind of echoed our statements to saying like, you know, Noella was going through so much when cameras first started rolling. So it was, you know, but it seems like they fit in so far.
Yeah, I'm into them.
All right. Well, let's get to our social spotlight of the week, where we discuss which housewife caught our attention on social media. Who caught your attention this week?
Bethany Frankel. She posted this Christmas holiday, very fun post in front of her pink tree. And her sweater says, "All my jingle ladies," which some people are speculating that she's maybe single. So she said, "Shout out to all my hashtag jingle ladies who can put their own ring on it." And then she said, "Ugly or pretty Christmas sweater, what do you think?" So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think she might be single again?
I don't think so. I know that I think sources told Us Weekly that she's still very much engaged. Sometimes she doesn't like to wear her big ring and wear a smaller one. So I think all is well. Bethany is still engaged. I wish I had that problem to, swap out my engagement ring for a big one and a small one. But we can't all have Bethany Frankel money. But it seems like she's just probably trying to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, I think so too. She still has photos of him on her page. So I think, she's going strong with him, but I want to see her married.
I do too. I want to see her, have her happily ever after. Yes. Mine goes to Dolores. We were talking about her before, but she posted this, gorgeous bikini picture of her on a beach. She looks like she's like 30 years old. It's crazy.
Seriously.
It's nuts, but it was the comments that kind of caught my eye because Giudice commented sexy on her picture. Oh, Joe.
That's crazy. Imagine if he gets to come back here and then he starts dating Dolores.
Oh my God.
Would make for a good season.
Then we would all be tuning into Jersey. I don't know if Teresa would go for that one. No. Lots of table flipping if that happened.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Getting Real with the Housewives. Mandy, thanks for running down all things Housewives with me as always.
Thank you. Thanks, Christina. Happy holidays, everyone.
Yes, happy holidays. Thanks for everybody for watching. Keep commenting, keep subscribing, and we will see you guys in the new year. Take care.
Bye.